Hey, this video is just for fun and to try and help others improve. Please don't go out of your way to harass or hunt down anyone mentioned in the video. Thank you and enjoy. Well, this is the second time, so if there's a third, then expect to see me much more often because I might be sticking around a lot more often. If that happens, I'll need to get a proper intro, so look forward to that. Anyway, I'm guessing we're checking out another dumb video today on a lady called Deviant. My creator has seen her videos before and didn't care for them, so I don't have high hopes for this, but let's check out the video. Shall we?
Oh boy, we're making a video on Matpat, everyone's favorite Matpat.
I don't like Matpat's videos a lot of the time. Can't say what I think of him since I've never met the guy, but from an outsider peeking in, he does seem like a pleasant guy. He has a kid, and from my perspective, it seems like he's trying his best to do his best. His content just isn't for me or my creator for the most part. The reason I stopped the video here is so everyone knows that my creator doesn't like the content of Miss Deviant or Matpat, so there's no bias in this video.
On the quality scale, Matpat is average.
Debatable. I think his video quality is good, but that could just be because my quality is beginner. Who knows?
So when I saw that Matpat had a video about the whole Scott Cawthon drama,
which you didn't link below your video, don't worry, I'll make sure my creator links it in this video's description for anyone who wants to check it out. Remember to link your sources, kids, otherwise people might think you're hiding something.
you know, where he donated to a lot of anti-LGBTQ politicians.
When you say he, you may want to clear up that you're still talking about Scott. My creator mistook that you were saying Matpat had donated the money rather than Scott the first time she saw this video. My creator is easily confused.
And of course, my prediction was Matpat was gonna say some centrist bullshit like—
which he didn't do. At least not from what I remember. But I can see how you came to that conclusion. He stated that Scott did donate to some people who were against the LGBTQ+ community. That Scott seemed to be more for the country being safe from others bombing it or whatever. And Matpat would continue to support the FNAF community because Scott isn't the community. Or at least that's what my creator and I got from the video. Clearly you got something else.
It must be very hard to pick between the fascist and not fascism.
For some people, yes. It is. Whether that be through fear, a person's upbringing, or just plain stupidity, it can be difficult for some people to make choices these days. Even smaller choices. My creator would have pineapple on her pizza if she could handle the texture, whereas I have ghost peppers on mine if they put those on pizzas. My point being, we have to make a choice and compromise.
And while we're talking about it, multiple people that were in anti-LGBTQ run certain facilities.
My creator hadn't heard of this till now, and she checked the description. There's no source or proof of this claim, so my creator had to look it up on Google. She found something, and while it's not the best, there will be a link in the description for those who may want to look into it. Careful, it's from BuzzFeed. If Miss Girl can't be bothered to prove her claims, then I'm not putting that much effort into it.
Yes, the man with multiple bankruptcies ought to keep things tight when it comes to money.
At worst he can borrow a small sum of $1 million. If you don't get that joke, then please think about how rich kids start companies. Though, in all seriousness, it feels like you're starting to drift away from the topic of the video. You know, talking mostly about FNAF, the community, the fandom, maybe a bit of politics, but that's not the majority of the video in my opinion.
Also, Matpat, I don't know if you didn't know this. Well, it turns out you don't know jack shit about politics, and I hate to guess why. It's probably because he's white and wealthy. It doesn't, you know, actually need to care that much. But anyways, that aside, yeah, the military's overfunded actually, and we need to start giving it less money.
Well, at least you showed some sort of proof, but no source. Though I think most people know the military is overfunded, not everyone does, so there goes another link for the description. Now, Matpat wasn't the one giving the money to the military. That was Scott because he fears for our country. Matpat was just reading articles and saying what he thinks it means for the FNAF fandom. Well, for the most part anyway. There is some, what seems to be like defending Scott in there, but let's be honest with ourselves. If we had Matpat's job, we'd probably hate to find out what Scott's done and try and help the community realize Scott's no longer the driving force behind the fandom.
Like, Scott, I genuinely believe that you think Scott Cawthon did this for the right reasons.
You edited this video. You recorded your lines. You couldn't do another take? You said Scott when you meant Matpat. You couldn't even put some text to correct that mistake? You can put text on the screen because there's some on your video in the upper right hand corner. Seriously, it isn't even that hard to fix or try and correct. Did you not script it and just ranted or rambled and then edited your insane speech into a video to post?
Certainly, the most important issues, and I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's up to your opinion what's an important issue. No, the most actual important issue going on in this country is fucking Republicans trying to take the rights away of minorities.
So the most important issues aren't the homeless people dying in the streets. It's not the abusive parents or partners. It's not the people letting their pets go and endangering the indigenous life. Nope, it's the minorities and just them. That sounded meaner, but I understand what you're saying. Minorities are treated like subhuman sometimes, and that is absolutely horrible. People should be treated with respect and like people, no matter the color of their skin, no matter who they love, no matter if they're trans, non-binary, agender, or something else they can't control. But there's a lot of issues in the world, and if my creator had it her way, we'd probably be worried more about abusive parents than other problems. Children are small, weak, and shouldn't be treated like they were on Daddy 05. So I think everyone can say what they think is the most important issue. Personally, I think we should be worried about endangered animals more. And you think that minorities are the most important. All these issues are important, but each one is different for each person based on their past and what kind of environment they grow up in. At least, I think that's how it works.
This is what I hate about centrists like fucking Matpat. They will go out of their way to make their, their right-leaning audience not feel uncomfortable.
Misal, if you please. Hi, I'm Misal, the creator of E.D. I'm also asexual, panromantic, a centrist. At least, that's one of the few things I've been called from other people, anyway. But I wouldn't call myself that. Anyway, if you're on the right side and are uncomfortable, please leave the video. Thank you! Thank you, Misal. Now then, I don't think you want to make someone more uncomfortable than they have to be when you're making a point and trying to get them to see where you're coming from. You also don't want to attack them when trying to get them to listen and understand where you're coming from.
Politicians like Joe Biden and moderates like that piece of shit.
That right there, attacking and name calling because someone doesn't see the world the same way you do. Also, please be creative in your name calling. Okay, so name calling is bad if you're trying to get someone to see the way you do, but if you don't care, then be creative with the name calling at least. Calling someone a POS is dull and boring. Spice it up a bit, why don't you?
Now, Scott Cawthon, I'm not saying you need to stop supporting FNAF, because FNAF is bad and it's made by a bad man.
I think you mean Matpat. Why would Scott stop supporting FNAF if he's the one who made it and he's the one that's the bad man in this case? I'll go back to the editing thing and say you did not do a retake because there's certainly no text to try and correct this problem. By the way, this is the second time you've made this mistake. It's almost like you see Scott and Matpat as the same person, but that would just be silly.
Now, Scott Cawthon does point out that, Matpat can't not care about LGBTQ rights. He donated to the Trevor Project.
And that's 3. Are you not scripting these things? Did you actually just record a rant and turn it into a video? Because that would explain the stuttering, and if it is an accident, then calling Scott and Matpat each other isn't as bad. However, if it's done on purpose, then congratulations. You look like a blithering scumbag. Not that you are one, but it certainly looks like it, and I don't care about you, so to me it looks like it as well. Now for everyone else, I'll be showing when she does it and keeping the counter. Let's see how often she calls Scott Matpat and Matpat Scott.
During maybe a live stream. But I'm sorry, Matpat, but your message is kind of contradicted when you decide to then support politicians that are the exact opposite of the Trevor Project.
Wow. One right after I said that.
Also, I will keep saying this until I fucking die. Donating to fucking charities doesn't mean shit when wealthy people do it, because wealthy people like getting tax breaks from fucking donating to charity.
I understand, but does that matter? The charity's getting money to help others, and as long as it's not something like PETA, Salvation Army, or Kids Wish Network, then we should be happy that charities are getting money. Right now, you just sound like a choosing beggar from those Reddit posts. You're out here saying that, and what? Can only the middle class or poor people donate to charities? We should be happy that charities are doing the right thing and getting more money to help others, and if the rich donate enough, maybe they'll become the middle class. It's unlikely, but I can hope.
Here's the thing, a lot of people want to say stuff like when this happens that, good people do bad things. But, supporting the right, they constantly want to take away rights from, people like me, that's not a good person thing to do.
Edit your audio. You said 3 versions of and it's getting annoying listening to that kind of recording. Next, sometimes people do bad things, and you're right about the taking away rights isn't a good thing to do. However, you've made a very bad video saying that, and your bias is showing through way more than it should if you're trying to get people on your side, which is what I'm assuming you're trying to do. Though, to be completely honest with you, I'm not sure what the point of this video is, and whatever it is, you aren't convincing me very well.
It's easy to not support bad people, and it should not have been hard for Matpat to not do that.
Adding a half a point because I'm not completely sure she meant Scott. If you support someone and it later turns out that they are a bad person, you shouldn't feel bad for having supported them. Just stop giving them support and in the future do the same. You didn't know, and bad people can hide, like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Once the sheep costume is gone, you can know the truth and make a proper decision on supporting that person in the future or not.
Even with the million excuses that Matpat tried to bring up, what he did was ambiguously stupid, shitty, or, worst case scenario, evil. Holy shit, I managed to make a real video.
A real bad video. And that's the end of her video. Final thoughts time. You know how to edit your videos. You should know how to edit your audio. There was no excuse for this. Your audio with the stuttering and going over what you said again makes it hard to listen to your video, and the lack of anything happening on the screen makes it hard to watch your videos. Now granted, they are easier to watch than my creator's older content, but they could be more visually interesting. My creator figured out how to make videos like this back in June, but she had to make a background, find an artist, work on her audio, and do some other things before videos like this were made. So I understand it can take a bit for you, and you could wait until you have everything together to make videos. That's what my creator did, and now she can finally make videos like this. I'm not saying you should make videos like this, it's just an option. It seems like most people have problems with editing. Maybe she can make a video like that. I already have a list of video ideas, I don't need more. Well, remember to edit your videos if they need editing. Audio is important, and my creator still works on that. Oh, and put sources in your description. I doubt that Misal will want to put sources to everything when people forget, and I managed to get her to do it this time, but this could be the only time it happens. How do I end this video? Well, I could say remember to edit your videos, be creative, take care of yourself, eat food, drink water, take your meds, but none of those feel right yet. I'll keep trying to figure it out. This is the end. Go! Be free!